folks. Welcome to Werewolf Radar, the world's premier paranormal preparedness podcast. My name is Jordan Dahl.
I am Nate Balding.
And I am Roger Norquist.
And today's episode of Werewolf Radar is brought to you by the Monstroco Living Blanket. This weighted, warm, pulsating blanket will give you the womb-like comfort you've always craved from products like this. Made from 100% redacted, the Monstroco Living Blanket will keep you safe, swaddled, and slowly turning into a fetus 24/7. The Monstroco Living Blanket. Life can't get you in here. Bluetooth umbilicus not included. Massage gently with ketchup once weekly for feeding.
Now, that sounds lovely. It sounds cozy. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, it is. It's hella cozy. It sweats?
It sweats, which I'm also fine with. I sweat. You know, it's same, buddy. Me and you together in this.
The first Snuggie I ever got sweat like a motherfucker.
But when the Monstroco box says turn into a fetus 24/7.
Oh, it'll keep you turning into a fetus. The more you use it, the more you kind of, your limbs shrink and your back bends and your head grows and your eyes turn into kind of black dots. It's like a big fetus. It's like you maintain your mass. But the more you stay in the living blanket, it does, as all Monstroco products do, exact a price.
All right. Well,
seems reasonable. I mean, it's the winter months. You're gonna want to stay warm, and nothing feels better than being coddled as if you were in a womb.
Absolutely, and that's what people who gravitate towards this kind of product are looking for. They want to,
adult
they want to
babies.
stay in there and just be, crushed by the swaddling, mothersome weight of what amounts to a gigantic scrotum.
I have one of those. The doctor says I should care about it.
Hey, you got to rub ketchup into it once weekly for feeding.
If you have an extra large prostate, Werewolf Radar says rub some ketchup on that, boy.
Get some chup in there. Can I go first? I've got a thing that's quite alarming.
Yeah, I say go first, take the speaking skull, and, put some ketchup in its mouth.
Okay, so first of all, I came across an article of something called the Sandown Clown. Have we heard about the Sandown Clown?
Oh,
Yes,
it's been a
we've
while.
talked about it several times.
We've talked about it.
It's been a while, though, and I can't remember anything about it. And if our community is like me, we're forgetful.
Okay, but that's okay, because if we have a working knowledge of the Sandown Clown, Sandown Clown Town, then that can bring me to this other thing that I found out. This actually all spawned from, I'm on the DMT subreddit, as you might imagine, and a lot of the people on the DMT subreddit report in their trips coming across clown entities, much like the computer elves, the digital elves we talked about.
The machine elves.
The machine elves, who seem to be integral to the working of reality. There are these clown entities that people come across, which seem to be kind of the villains of the piece, if you will. Now, the Sandown Clown, just to put it out there, this was going to be my foot in the door on this whole thing, but not necessary. This is what the sighting was. Creature allegedly stood 7 feet in height and lacked a defined neck, instead having a head that emerged directly from its shoulders. The entity wore what appeared to be a green spandex tunic, a red collar around its neck, and a pointed yellow cowl with wooden antennae. Wooden antennae.
That's a weird thing.
The creature's facial features consisted of triangular eyes, a square-shaped nose, and yellow lips that never moved, as well as red cheek markings and a small bit of visible hair. Frankly, this sounds like someone wearing a mask. They called it Sam, the Sandown Clown. He was witnessed in Sandown, England in May 1973. It has been suggested that Sam was an extraterrestrial or an interdimensional being, but the lack of evidence made such hypothesis dubious. A more disturbing yet realistic possibility is that Sam was human and actually a child predator. According to
I
the
mean,
story,
that's the chance you just take in life.
yeah. According to the story, he didn't actually make any advances towards either child. It was the two kids who saw him. But the fact that he invited them into his hut is suspicious. Of course, it isn't necessary that the individual, assuming it was a human in a suit, had malicious intent. It's entirely possible they were simply a prankster looking to frighten children, cause a scare in the local. Now,
It does seem
true,
like an easy
but
demographic
weird.
to scare the shit out of, like put on
Children?
yeah.
Oh,
Children are like the easiest to scare.
so easy to scare. They don't even make it hard. This is the alleged sighting. The encounter with Sam occurred on a late afternoon of an unspecified date in May of 1973 in the small resort town of Sandown, located on the Isle of Wight's east coast. When two children, one being known by the alias Faye and the other being unnamed, were exploring the hills of the Shanklin and Sandown Golf Club. While exploring the rolling green hills of the course, they were alarmed to hear a monotone siren-like sound. Child alert.
Put on
Going
your
in
wooden
search-
antennae.
Going in search of the source of the noise, they made their way to a small bridge where the siren suddenly ceased. A strange entity emerged from underneath the bridge. The creature, apparently startled by the children's presence, fumbled with a book it was carrying and dropped it into the stream below. Upon retrieving the now drenched book, the clown-like entity fled with a series of bounding hops as though the creature was experiencing lowered gravity. Now that makes it sound like less like a person wearing a mask. It fled into a windowless metal domicile and returned with a small microphone-like device. After a brief reprise of the siren-like noise, evidently a case of microphone feedback, the figure began to speak to the children. As the now calmed children approached, the figure wrote the message, "Hello, and I am all colors Sam," in a jumbled order. I do remember talking about this is very fucking crazy. The children later described the creature's manner of speaking as stilted, as though it were trying to put on a ventriloquist act or talk through a stuffy mask. Faye asked Sam if he was a human, an idea that Sam denied. Upon being asked if he was a ghost, Sam allegedly replied, "Well, not really, but I am in an odd sort of way." I get the feeling that maybe he and ghosts are from the same place. Anyway,
realm,
that's a
the
little
dark
refresher
place.
on the Sandown Clown, Brown.
Yeah, if I
Clown.
remember right, he's like Frosty the Snowman. He's like England's Frosty the Snowman.
Sure, yeah,
Yeah. They put a they put a magic piece of plywood on his head, and
Yeah.
But that brought me to a different to a Reddit thread regarding just clown entities in general. Somebody posted made a post with the title "Are clown entities real?" question mark.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Are
No,
evil
no, I
clown entities real?
I think we need to define entity, because there have definitely been some evil clowns,
This is true.
and there are definitely clowns, and they are entities.
Clowns are real.
And yeah.
Clowns
They
are
don't
real.
not
You see 'em
exist.
around. Absolutely. So this is by user Vatefas. Now I had somebody reach out to me and ask if they could use my story from Reddit in their paranormal podcast. We don't do any of that, but we'll go ahead and we'll say your name and we'll give you proper credit. So user Vatefas, 4 years ago. Hi guys, I've never really shared anything on Reddit before, so bear with me. This is something that my great-granddad would always share, among his other scary stories. A quick bit of background. My granddad lived in a very remote village in Pakistan, where they had no electricity, no TV, no proper schools, so really no exposure to the outside culture. Their
But what
stories
they
of the
did
kings...
have was a hella good carnival.
Their stories of kings and queens featured a comedian, never a clown.
Okay.
This happened when my great granddad was relatively young, maybe in his 40s in the late 1930s. His routine involved waking up really early in the morning before sunrise to go to the fields, early enough as most people in the village back then could only travel by walking or on a camel. So this one morning, he woke up and after breakfast left the house while it was still dark. Since there were no streetlights back then, he only had a lantern for light, which he held in one hand, and walked looking down to avoid stepping on a snake, etc. The village is in a desert, so finding snakes is quite common. Because it was quite early, the streets were completely deserted. Anyway, he had barely made it to the middle of his street when he heard the sound of bells ahead of him. It made him lift his lantern a bit higher and look up. According to him, as his eyes traveled up from the ground, he noticed a pair of feet wearing bright orange and red striped shoes with curved toes and bells on the end. He continued looking up and saw a pair of legs, a torso, arms, and a head, covered from head to toe in the same orange and red striped outfit with ruffle around the neck and sleeve. My great granddad noticed that on the head, this being was wearing a hat that had three pointy ends with bells on each end. But there was no face, just a black mass where the face should have been. As soon as my great granddad looked at this thing's face, it disappeared right in front of him. He ran back home and was freaked out for days after that. Now, I need to remind everyone again that my great granddad had never heard of what a clown looked like. His description was so
Yeah,
accurate that
I was gonna say this is a very European kind of archetype
Yeah.
for
This is
clowning.
this is like not medieval, but very like court gesture
yeah, like a
style
classic
clown.
kind of
Yeah.
court jester style dude.
Kind of
Um,
like Commedia dell'arte almost.
yes, exactly.
Yes.
Now, I need to remind everybody my granddad did not know what a clown looked like. His description was so accurate that I instantly asked, "Did it look like a clown?" And he said, "I don't know what that is." It might sound strange to some people, but the village my great granddad lived in is still pretty behind the times. The concept of a joker or clowns in a circus or birthday parties is still pretty much foreign to them. I know that a lot of people, including me, have a phobia of clowns. A lot of times we try to explain that fear saying things like it's because you can't see what's under the makeup, or some clowns have a sinister look to them. But for someone who has never even heard of a clown, seeing one in so much detail is incredible. And I'm starting to believe that maybe the fear of clowns isn't just because they look weird. Maybe it's because the concept of clowns did come from something paranormal. It would be interesting to see what other people think of, what other people think, and if any of you have had any creepy incidents with. Now, Roger, you've had a.
Yeah, you kind of broke up there, but yes, I have had a creepy clown experience.
Mhm.
It was with a doll that my mom had. It was a
Mhm.
clown such as described pretty much. It had the frill neck. What am I
Yeah,
trying to
old-
yeah,
say? Yeah.
Yeah.
the
And
Tudor collar.
A
the
Tudor
Tudor collar, the baggy one suit of a pants, you
Mhm.
know, and it had
Oh,
a smile.
baggy one suit just sounds like it took a dump.
That sounds like a clown's name.
It
Ah,
had it
baggy
had
one
it
suit.
held balloons,
I've
and
only got the one suit.
one time while playing video games, Final Fantasy IV to be specific, it turned its head at me and I just left to the park to the afternoon.
Yep.
Didn't play video games in that bedroom really at all after that. And then when we moved to the next apartment we lived in, we just lost the clown. Like it just
Yeah.
disappeared. I asked my
Scary.
mom about it and she was all like, "What are you talking about?"
We've never
And I
had a clown.
yeah, I had to remind her she owned this clown.
Yeah.
And then she was like, "Oh, I don't know what happened to that." And I was
What
like,
do
"It's
you
alive,
mean?
damn
You
it."
don't
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
it got up and walked out the front door. Is
I
what happened.
seriously think so, dude. It's one of those moments to where like I think about it to this day, and it's not the reason I'm scared of clowns, but
But it
I
ain't
don't
helping.
like them. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
helping. That's my
Sure.
experience.
Pretty cool. Pretty fucking crazy and cool. I mean, not cool for you.
Yeah,
Horrifying
the
for
nightmares are
you.
fine. Don't worry
Right.
about me. But I do sometimes wake up in the middle of the night screaming, "I got you now!"
It brought you to Paranormal Investigation.
It did,
Roger
kinda.
is a registered state clown hunter.
Yeah, the test is hard.
Test is hard. You have to tell which of these three things is a clown. And, you know, sometimes
It's
it's difficult to tell.
It's
a
very hard.
squirrel. It's a guy with his face painted it's like someone drew a penis on his cheek,
Mm-hmm.
and then a
Yeah.
clown.
Yeah,
then
but
see-
then some of them are all like a squirrel clown, and you're all like,
Right,
well, I
right.
mean, what do I choose, the clown or the squirrel clown?
And this one's Robin Williams, and it's like,
He falls into that mid area. He's in the
America's
gray.
Clown. Yeah. But anyway, more people chimed in. One of these is only about 14 days ago. The first one is about a year ago. And they say, this is from Dull Information 819. And they say, hey, I'm so glad you wrote about this because I had a similar experience in my childhood. It is something that has always plagued me because everything points to childhood imagination, and I have a very vivid one.
Sure.
Sure. So I wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, and as clear as day, while still standing in the doorway of my bedroom, I see a clown sitting on my father's weight bench, glaring at me with such a sinister face.
That's
I
what
stood
I'm
frozen.
talking about.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm
Staring at
talking
my
about.
dick.
I stood frozen for a moment, wondering if I should go back to bed or proceed, when it occurred to me that it couldn't be real because my father keeps his weight bench in the basement. I slowly moved past the clown and into the bathroom and shut the door. Clown didn't move or make any movement whatsoever besides following me with his eyes. While in the bathroom, I took my sweet time, and of course, when I opened the door, it wasn't there. Once morning came, I ran down to the basement to make sure the weight bench was in its place, and it was. I was also abused by my father, and it was a small picture of a clown's face above my bed. Wow.
That's quite the way to end that story.
That is quite the way to end that story, which makes
Yeah,
me wonder
yeah.
if this is a shit post or what.
The spooky one, though, it did give me the goosebumps.
Weird.
Yeah, any clown that can translocate a weight bench, I mean, that guy's you know, he's benching at least 455.
That's a power clown.
You don't need no spotter.
The next one, this is the one that's about 14 days ago. And this is from Onika. And they say, I'm so happy someone has posted this question, as for the first time in my life, I've actually decided to look into this a bit more and see if, quote, clown entities are a thing. Here's my experience. When I was around 3 to 4 years old, my granddad parents,
My granddad parents, they were
Yeah.
gay. You described that in a shorter way.
fair. My granddad parents took me to a park, and I distinctly remember hearing subtle bells ringing and being drawn to look in a nearby bush. I saw a guy dressed as a clown hiding in this bush. We made eye contact, but
Huh.
as this happened, he put a finger to his lips as if to say shh, with a menacing type grin.
That's terrifying.
Terrifying.
That
Like,
seems that's terrifying, but normal. And by normal,
Yeah, I mean, seems very reasonable, like something that would,
Could
like, I can
be
see that happening
guy.
for
Right.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just some creep.
some creep, right. I thought he was playing hide and
Creeps,
seek or
my
something.
favorite sequel to Charlotte's Web.
Yeah, where they have that creep on display. I thought he was playing hide and seek or something. I remember asking my nan and granddad the next time they took me to this park if the clown was going to be there, as I assumed that there was a child's party or some event taking place. I was actually curious about if I was going to see the clown again and maybe get to interact with him more. But my
What
nan and
childlike innocence
trust
were
me.
like.
Yeah. If the clown has his way, you'll be interacting plenty.
But my nan and granddad had absolutely no idea what I was talking about and said there was no clown or any parties, etc. the last time we went. I also remember when being really young and seeing the classic image from the Stephen King It movie with the clown hiding in the drain thingy trying to coax the little boy and finding this image absolutely terrifying. When my first childhood friends came to my house, I would never let them in my bedroom because I was embarrassed about not having the stereotypically girly, nice bedroom. But I would instead tell them there was a dead clown in my room.
That's
I vaguely-
insane. Why? I
vaguely-
mean, kids do a lot of crazy stuff, myself included. I said a lot of crazy
Yeah.
shit, but that's fun. You're a fun person.
Basically, they go on to wonder if maybe these kind of encounters
Clown.
with
We can't go
with
into my room. The dead
clowns,
clown.
had led them to have kind of a phobia that was manifesting in these ways. And yeah, maybe, yeah. But my question to you, dear reader, is have you ever seen a weird clown entity? Are weird clown entities around us? Did clowns not just get invented by Grimaldi, the first clown, in the 1800s or whatever, but rather plucked from the ether as some sort of Jungian fear archetype that we all understand and mistrust and know to be the source of some sort of a maniacal laughter god, like Slaanesh from the Warhammer universe.
That's a
I don't
good
know if it's-
reference. That's a good reference. I can definitely see
I don't
that.
know
I
if
mean,
it's
it's
that one.
weird. It's weird that man who lived in rural Pakistan, it sounds like,
Yeah.
has too many references ever shown to him of a clown. I can't deny that even in his area in modern times, he might have seen a picture of a clown and he just can't remember when he saw it.
Yeah, I also can't imagine that he would then make it to be a great grandfather without ever seeing a clown somewhere. I mean, maybe he saw it and was just like, "Oh, a silly cartoon character."
Right.
And nobody was
Right.
ever like, "This is a clown. This is what they do. Here's why you should fear them."
The word association may not be there.
Right.
But it is weird that he would see it regardless. Why not something he's way more familiar with that his
Huh.
brain actually wants to pluck from, you know? This is a weird poll if it was just like a psychological thing. Like that's what makes me think that like, wait, maybe clowns are like this interdimensional thing. And the interdimensional thing's only been hanging out in the west side of the planet, you know? And then he's over here on the east side. They're not
Mhm.
familiar with clowns.
They're from
They're
the
giving him like the
clowniverse.
opposite response of what he's going for.
Well, I think there's a clowning tradition in probably nearly every culture on Earth.
This man,
some variety of comedic performance.
Buffoon. And also, that's another question. Why? It's like Bigfoot. Like every culture has a Bigfoot. Every culture has a clown.
Yeah, well, and I could see it being a kind of Jungian archetype as well. Like, just because they're intentionally absurd to the point of being borderline inhuman.
Yeah.
It's like
upsetting.
almost like an uncanny valley, like the other side of the uncanny valley.
Yeah,
Sure.
that is fair. It is very much a mockery of all that is human like, you know?
Mhm.
Like
But,
all the things are what am I trying to say? Exaggerated.
exaggerated to the point where it no longer resembles a human. So it would naturally be upsetting to some people.
Oh, myself included. I do not enjoy
Yeah.
the circus, but what I do enjoy is circus peanuts.
I like circus peanuts and coulrophobia.
And that's it. Those are my two faves. So there you have it, folks. That's my segment that I'm calling Enter the Clowniverse. Once more talking about the nature of clowns. Where do they come from? Why do we need them? And what is the future of clowns?
I don't know what the future's gonna be, man, but I
I
think
think
about
some
it all
sort
the
of
time.
gas, probably.
A clown gas that turns us into clowns, or
Yeah, like a Joker gas.
A clownification is happening for 2024, you're saying.
Yes, it's coming.
Dream
Well,
of clownification.
that is what my segment is going to be about today, but I would like Nate to go first.
Okay.
I want to end the segment with
Sure.
prophecies from our favorite psychic.
Well, son of a bitch. That's my segment too.
Wait. Who's your favorite psychic?
All right. Well, you're gonna take Baba Vanga, right?
No,
No, who are you taking?
I'm taking the
'Cause-
Asparamancer.
All right, I'll skip Asparamancer. Because I
All
have
right,
a
we'll see
few.
how many of them clash. I'm an Asparamancer fan, and here's why. She
Oh,
tosses the spurs or
Stop
whatever.
tosses the salad of the universe.
Yeah. No, I fully on board. The Asparamancer is what brought me to see what other people were talking
See,
about too.
This is
So
why we
I
need to
guess
share beforehand
Yeah,
what we talk
I
about.
almost said it. I could do a different thing about one-eyed mutant animals.
I mean,
We don't
Or, I
not
mean-
need to know about that.
Well, we'll close this whole thing out. I think this is technically
this is our
The
first episode of
first
the new year,
that
truly.
was recorded in
Yeah,
the
in
new
the new
year.
year.
So
Yeah. Hey, happy new year.
Happy New Year, everyone. We hope your first 8 days of the year has been not dreadful.
May your days be may your ears be merry and nude.
Nude ears, huh?
so I have a handful of psychics here. But we'll start with Baba Vanga,
Yes.
Banga!
Now,
the Nostradamus of the Balkans, who died in 1996. But
yes. And she
but
was
who-
blind, right? She had
Shut
like
up.
no
Oh,
eyes.
yeah. She, yeah, I don't. I mean, I
Not
don't
that
know
we
if
want her to. I'm sorry.
I don't know if that. I don't know enough about her history. If that was from birth or if that happened. But yeah, it looks like her eyes are like sealed shut. But anyway, here are some of her predictions for 2024. Um, ba- 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 Here's a little background on Baba Vanga, if you're not aware. A mystic who apparently predicted the Chernobyl disaster, Princess Diana's death, 9/11, and the war in Ukraine. Another one that came true for her 2023. Also made a series of predictions for 2024, and I presume for many years beyond that. Despite dying in 1996, she's regarded by some as the Nostradamus of the Balkans, and started making eerily accurate predictions from an early age. During the Second World War, she began to attract believers in her healing and soothsaying ability, as people with missing loved ones visit her hoping to discover their fate. Even
Said all
world
kinds of
leaders,
sooth.
yeah. Even world leaders were enthralled by her supposed prowess, with Bulgarian Tsar Boris III and Soviet leader Leonid Brezhnev apparently consulting her. And of course, after she died in 96, she kind of became a cult figure amongst believers of soothsaying and general conspiracy theorists across the world.
Good for her. People need to look up to someone who's dead, you know? I guess not look up to, but, you know, follow the words of someone dead. You know who I follow?
Hmm.
The guy who
Jimi
played the
Hendrix?
original Joker.
Ah, yes.
Cesar Romero?
Yeah, he's the dead dude that I follow. Is he not dead?
Oh, Cesar Romero's very dead.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
an old man when he was playing the Joker.
Yeah, I just follow the things he says. It's mostly Joker quotes, but he's a fun Joker.
You know,
For instance, one
here's-
of the things he says is,
he says that, and he says, no, I will not shave my mustache for fucking Batman.
and he just fucking painted over it. What a madman.
Supposedly, because Cesar Romero, the great Latin lover, many women wanted him, apparently.
Uh-huh.
However, he was very gay.
Yeah,
and
men wanted to be him, women wanted to eat him.
yep,
He wanted to eat
as it always
men.
happens.
Hmm.
Well, what he actually wanted them to do, and this is, of course, probably rumor, but hilarious if true. He loved to have young boys, come to his home or his hotel or whatever, and
Who
he would
doesn't? They
drop
have such great
trow.
stories.
He would drop trow, bend over, and we'd have them whip orange rinds and lemon rinds at his ass.
Hilarious.
That was supposedly Cesar Romero's huge fetish.
Good
That's
lord.
not okay to make young people do that.
Well,
But it
not
is-
like young, like 22-year-old,
Okay, good.
in shape
pretty
swimmers or
funny-
whatever,
But that's
Pretty
one
funny
of
fetish.
yeah.
Now you're going to see a bucket of rotten tomatoes. I want you to whip him at my ass like he's Fozzie Bear.
Anyway, Baba Vanga, at the time of her death, had left behind predictions for every year up until 5079, which is when she believes the world will end. Well, believed, I guess.
5079?
Yep, 5079.
That's
Pretty good.
so long in the future. I don't have to worry about shit.
It's pretty
Yeah.
good, honestly.
So a bunch of her 2023 things came true.
Like what?
Well, she predicted the Ukraine invasion is kind of the big one, I think, because that's a weird thing to predict in 1996.
That's what they no, and here's why. Because Russia's been wanting
I guess they had only recently stopped being the Soviet Union, so
No, but
it
it's very
wasn't-
clear, and people know that Russia, for the longest time, needs a port that's not frozen year-round. And they had
Fair
two.
enough.
They had Estonia, which is no longer theirs and protected by NATO, pretty much. And then you had the Crimea, and everyone knows like Russia wants this. And then the Ukraine was all like Russia wants this, and then the Russians were all like Russia wants this. Everyone knew this. Is what I'm
Mhm.
saying. It wasn't a surprise.
All right.
Everybody wants it.
Like my dad, who's
Fair.
stupid as shit, taught me that Russia
Yeah.
wants one thing and one thing only: a goddamn
that's
port that
Crimea.
doesn't
And
freeze
it's
over.
disgusting.
And I am unfortunate to have to admit that my dad, this is the only thing he's ever been correct on.
No, that was
I don't know why he knows so much
savage
about
takedown
what-
of your family.
Mm-hmm.
But he
I would
knows
love to be
so
a fly
much.
on the wall at your next Thanksgiving.
I would congratulate him for his analysis on Russia-Ukrainian conflicts.
International politics.
Yeah, no, not international politics, just what Russia wants. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, I mean, I guess she was also from the Balkans, so she would have
She knew.
probably been really aware. The other one is also super easy, but apparently people are like, "Oh no, dude, it's totally true," and that was that solar activity could have a serious consequence for the Earth. But we knew that in the 1960s.
Yeah, but what happened? Anyway, I just doubt psychics. Here's why. Because they're not using asparagus. Sorry, I'll be more kind. I'll
Yeah,
be
no,
more
no, I
kind to this non-asparagus
understand.
psychic.
Look, we have a couple more to get through too, so
Yeah, my bad. I'll
we'll
stop
be able to
doubting
be
everything
unkind
here.
to all of them. So here's her predictions for 2024. First up, the assassination of Vladimir Putin and bioweapon attacks. She predicted the death of a Russian leader by the hand of a, quote, fellow countryman, with his killing plunging the world into greater uncertainty. She also warned of terror attacks across Europe, while an unnamed big country will carry out biological weapon attacks in 2024.
Ooh, we're a big country.
Yeah,
In a
but that's
big
not really our
country,
style.
they'll
Ooh, could be,
poison
Jordan.
you.
Could be someday. Maybe we need to be
We
shooting
are-
higher.
Maybe we need to be doing biological attacks. Werewolf Radar 2024. Biological attacks.
Biological attacks.
On the side of germ warfare since 2024.
Goes on to say, economic experts should be warned the mystic also foretold of a huge economic crisis in 2024.
Ha! Joke's on you. That already happened in 2023.
That happened in
And
2022.
Ivanka's followers claim that she said the rising debt levels and escalating geopolitical tensions risk plunging the global economy into chaos. She also predicted
I know
the
I'm really
power-
stupid because whenever anybody talks about the economy, I'm
Sure.
like, I don't know. It
well,
seems fine.
because it doesn't matter really. Like,
On like a surface level, I'm like, it doesn't affect the price of Papa John's pizzas.
Papa John's Pizza makes their main mission to give me pie at an affordable price.
Exactly.
garlic butter is still free.
Garlic butter's for the people.
Yep, they give it to you free because they hate yourself as well.
She also predicted that power grids and water treatment plants would be hit by advanced cyber hackers posing as a national security threat, throwing the globe into peril.
Whoa.
I mean,
which
all these
also
are
just
legitimate.
sounds like I don't know. When did Alex Jones start his show?
I don't know.
Quickly to the internet.
Because this just feels like, or I mean, I guess it could also be like a Rush Limbaugh thing.
Wait, are you suggesting that Alex Jones has just been plagiarizing the work of Baba Vanga?
That's what I'm suggesting. No,
he read it and was like, "This
talks
could
about
be
shit
me."
all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he is just straight up stealing her words. He's all like, he's going all like, "This is what I'm talking about. These are my thoughts," and she's just straight up reciting Baba Vanga.
That would make me actually feel some amount of respect for him. So I choose not to believe it.
Yeah.
You would
He's a
have more
tall
respect
order.
if he stole the words that he was saying. I guess I would too.
From
Yeah.
a prophetess. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fair
I would have
enough.
more
Versus-
respect if he was
Versus
simply.
just making 3 hours of shit up every day.
I would have more respect if he were simply a creature of prophecy.
I mean, he believes he is.
Mm-hmm.
However, there is a positive end. Baba Vanga predicted that in 2024, humanity will shackle cancer, quote, with iron chains. There will also be new treatments for diseases like Alzheimer's. So, major medical breakthroughs coming this year.
Great news.
Now let's jump over to the Prophet of Doom.
Answer with.
Also, Alex Jones starts in 1996, 3 years after leaving
same.
high school.
What if they come out with some kind of cancer treatment that uses like iron particles or whatever? Keep an eye out for that. Let's not let that news slip past us.
Like they'll inject the cancer with the iron particles, and then they'll take a magnet
Yeah.
to just pull it out.
And since nobody knows how magnets work.
So this is British psychic Craig Hamilton Parker, aka the Prophet of Doom, has released a flurry of new predictions for this year, following apparently a bunch of predictions from last year, many of which came true.
Such as just one. I won't doubt it this time.
Well, I guess the last year one would have just been the death of Queen Elizabeth, but she was old as shit. Like,
how's that a doom prophet? That's a party prophet right there.
Well, he's also been predicting that like every year for the past however.
right.
She's gonna die this year.
Yeah.
He did also apparently predict the COVID-19 pandemic and Donald Trump becoming president in older previous years.
What was that prediction? A fucking douchebag will pull off the biggest grift in American history.
That could go both ways on that one.
In a recent YouTube video, he explained that within his visions, he can see events for the rest of the year, which he says include global cyber attacks. So he's with Baba there.
Mhm.
Natural disasters worldwide, such as floods and earthquakes. That's still with Baba Vanga. And a worrying Russia-China alliance. Vanga didn't see that one coming.
I don't think that's going to happen, and here's why. I don't
Because
think
they're
they're
enemies.
friends. Yeah, on top of that, I don't think they're friends.
Well, maybe they hate us enough. Put it aside.
He said, this is a quote from him,
Maybe.
back in 2015, I started to say that I saw the Russia and China would form an alliance, and this is beginning to happen. So one of my first predictions is about this Russian and China alliance, which I think is very important at the moment. I said at the time that the Russian economy would be seen to shrink over the coming years and would do an arms deal with China, and sadly that's beginning to happen, particularly over the Ukraine war.
So he literally is just like throwing out a ton of potential
Well, and he's
potential
just anybody could
premonitions
have,
every year.
yeah,
And then when
anybody
one of
also
them pans out, he's like,
I got
oh,
it. Yeah. Also, anybody could be like, yeah, looks like Russia's dollar is going to get worse. The ruble will
yeah,
be like, as it's been on trend to do since what, 93?
yeah. Okay, here's one of mine. I'm gonna throw
Okay.
out a prediction. It'll rain.
Oh, I think not, sir.
You watch. Mark my words. And you know what?
Uh,
Let's do another one just in case something really crazy happens. Michael Jackson will come back as a pterodactyl and fart money all over, let's say, Chicago.
I mean, even if you go 1 for 2, you're batting 500. That's a great
Exactly.
average.
Exactly.
Yeah, I do
Uh,
think though the secret to prophesizing is throw a wide net.
Throw it at the
yeah,
wall. Absolutely.
everything at the wall. Yeah.
Chuck it out
Uh,
there. Could happen. Who knows?
he
You know.
does.
That too.
He does also, like Baba Vanga, believe that we will find a cure for cancer within the next
Hey.
12 months.
Wow.
He says this is all going to be tied in with artificial intelligence, and I feel that something major is going to be discovered straight away in 2024.
Interesting.
He also talks about Alzheimer's. Then he talks about we're going to see spyware. A big spyware release will happen. There's something going to happen that will bring down some banking systems.
Nice, an
Okay.
Operation Mayhem, if you will.
Yeah.
Activate my agents.
He also says there's going to be another big old West Coast earthquake going as far as Mexico City.
Oh boy.
So a real big one.
That is big ol'.
What does that mean?
Well, remember
Like
when
from
I think it was
Cali to
1990?
Mexico City?
Yeah. I think was it 1993? The summer of 93, I think.
Yeah, I went
LA
through it. It
had
was
to like
92. It was
92.
frightening. Here's what happened. I have quite an interesting life when I hear facts about my life. I'm eating spaghetti
Mm-hmm.
when
Okay,
this
now you're just
earthquake
bragging.
happens. And my dad's coming home. My mom and dad fought because he was buying cocaine before he came home for dinner, is what I now know.
Nice.
And then
Right.
and then I'm eating spaghetti and the earth, and I start hearing like this rumbling, like this low rumbling, and then like the ground starts to shake. And then my mom and brother are gone. So
Like
I just keep eating
left the room.
I keep eating spaghetti. So
Sure.
I eat spaghetti through this huge earthquake. Our building is fine. Like we're far enough away to where it wasn't that bad for us. We weren't in the heart of it, but we felt it. And then my mom comes out and hits me because I didn't follow them into the bathroom.
My God. That's a sad tale.
Yeah, that is a more interesting story than it ought to be.
Anyway, a lot of people died in that earthquake.
Yeah.
Not you though.
Not me. I ate spaghetti.
Or did you?
You ate spaghetti and scared off a clown. Here's another psychic. This is This is from Business Insider. The headline here is Fox News brought a tarot card psychic on prime time
I
to predict
saw
Donald Trump
that.
2024.
I saw
Hilarious.
that. I love that. I love how Fox brought in witchcraft.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. And
And
Jesse
I know that
Waters
tarot
too,
card reading
who's-
isn't witchcraft. That's a joke between me and my lady. Sorry, that's a joke for one person. I respect your traditions and the things you all enjoy.
Yeah, they're really reaching though.
But yeah, Jesse Waters is arguably the dumbest guy on Fox News, and
It's a
the bar is
competition.
pretty low.
Yeah.
So Fox News primetime host Jesse Waters invited a psychic on his show on Tuesday. That would be Tuesday whatever that was, the
It was
second.
Yeah, it was the second. You are
the
correct.
second. To predict former President Donald Trump's chances for the presidency in 2024. That did not go very well. Paula Roberts, who describes herself as a, quote, fully fledged medium, got nothing short of a depressing reading for Trump. I would
See,
like
now I believe it.
Yeah.
No, wait, you know about tarot cards though, Jordan. Wait till you hear the card choice.
Oh boy.
Well, and oddly enough, they they have a whole section called the Trumps. Robertson Water. I would like Paula for you to give me a reading on President Trump. Waters said. Robertson Waters agreed she would draw just one card for Trump, after which she flipped over a card showing a dark cloaked figure surrounded by toppled goblets. Uh-oh, Robertson Waters said in unison.
Oh boy.
I do recognize that I'm on Fox TV. A sense of loss, Roberts said, giving her reading of what the card meant as Waters let out a discouraged sigh. But it's very specific. Let me move on. It's a sense of loss. It's as if he may be thinking more about what he's lost and not still taking full advantage of what he still has. Which might be nothing. We have no idea.
See, I like to think though that card is predicting the future and he will lose something.
Oh,
And
like
in
an
the
arm?
future,
His freedom, ideally.
No,
Oh,
ideally,
great.
but here's what's going to happen. This is a Roger Norquist prediction from Werewolf Radar 2024. We will have NFT cards from the Trump campaign of Trump holding his son, Don Jr., who has just been shot. He took a
Whoa.
bullet for dear daddy.
Dude,
And
I'm
they
seeing
made
it. I can
and
see
they
the
made
image.
an NFT card that you can buy for $50 to help Trump stop this campaign interference that is called justice.
And here's the thing. The bullet was fired by his other idiot son.
It was like a duck hunting accident.
No,
No,
they were
not even
playing
that.
a game.
He's playing with a gun that he found in the closet.
They were playing a game that they call Bullet Fight. And he shot him and he was like, Donald, are you okay, Donald? Oh no, Donald, go sleep. And then he actually fights the gun.
That's a great interpretation, Paula, Waters said, laughing.
Thank you, Paula.
Thank you, Paula.
Trump's was the only glum reading that evening, as Roberts also made 2024 predictions for Joe Biden, Waters himself, and the U.S. as a whole. Roberts said Biden's card showed him receiving lots and lots and lots and lots of money. Far more than what he's used to. From China, Waters asked, alluding to a Republican talking point that includes
China.
Trump accusing Biden without evidence of
China.
receiving $1.5 billion from China. You're
God,
cheeky.
I love how he
didn't
talks.
say where, she said. She then predicted that Waters would have another child in 2024 and drew a card that said she indicated he was a young, quick, bright, sharp.
Okay.
All right.
The child, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of those young, quick, bright sharps you hear about.
The U.S., Roberts said, should look forward to, quote, joy, happiness, contentment, which she described as big, 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 big happy.
Good Lord.
To be honest, I do believe psychics just read the feeling of the energy, and
Okay.
if the America's gonna go through a big, big happy, I'm there for it.
Sure. But what if it's the happy that they felt like that half the country felt when they shut down abortion? Or
Hmm.
what if it's that kind of happy where it's like,
Fair.
you guys are super pumped that Jesus is now elected president?
Should I vote for Satan?
No, but you shouldn't vote for Jesus.
Uh, Let me ask you this. Do you want Michelle Welch or who's this person? Rose Smith.
Don't
Ooh,
know.
Jordan, I'm a gentleman, so I'll let you choose.
I don't know who either of those people are.
Doesn't matter.
Michelle Welch.
All right. Here are psychic medium Michelle Welch's predictions for 2024. And just so you know a little bit about her, she's the author of The Magic of Connection and Spirits Unveiled.
Oh, that Michelle.
That's my
And
favorite book.
she was live on KATU 2 ABC, wherever the hell that is.
That is my favorite ABC affiliate.
Not mine.
I think it's Portland. This is the year of the wood dragon and an 8-year in numerology, reflecting an overall year of prosperity, abundance, and security. Now let's get to the predictions. The Golden Bachelor wedding! Gary, he's excited for adventure in the relationship, will want to be active. Teresa seems all in, but will she really want the adventure? She wants more than the inward and deep expression of companionship, while he wants the adventure.
I love this. This is insane.
Fully insane.
Travis and Taylor, as in Swift and Casey. One thing's sure for Taylor Swift, never underestimate her. Tell her she can't do something and she will prove you wrong.
Taylor,
She's the
you can't turn into an eagle.
Be careful, dude. She will turn you wrong. She has more than enough money to get the prosthetic surgeries to become an eagle.
I don't think she can do it.
She is the definition of the independent woman archetype and a great example of, and this is all caps, free will. She is her own woman and will continue to break new ground with her music and branding. They are serious with genuine affection, but the great thing is they're having fun. There's a strong possibility of staying power, stay healthy and in the zone, Travis, because Taylor wants an even match, and let's face it, she's a dynamo. And of course, I love her song Karma.
All right. I don't know too many songs of Taylor Swift, so.
And then we'll get to these. These are the Oscar predictions. She says Oppenheimer has the best possibility for Best Picture, but Saltburn feels like gaining ground.
I've heard
May
only
sneak in
phenomenal
at the last
things.
minute.
People are loving that Saltburn.
Only phenomenal things about Saltburn. Actually,
I don't want to watch it.
Saltburn
Seems
sounds
upsetting.
cool.
That's going to be Roger's lock of the
Lock at the top.
trimester.
She also says Billie Eilish gets Best Song for What Was I Made For? Oh, and if you're a betting man,
I am.
Ravens win the Super Bowl over the Niners.
All right, Werewolf Radar
Got
Fortune on the Ravens.
Writing that down.
It's done. All $20 is going to the Ravens.
Check this out, millennials.
That's
little
us.
M's. This is a new wave of health as adopted by the millennials. They begin to kickstart health fads and trends, especially for weight loss, but cutting back on drinking alcohol. It's not cool like it was. Alcohol-free drinks are the way to go, and this will continue.
I mean, that was already happening.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah, but
for
we're
us,
gonna do
'cause
something about it.
we're all old enough that it now hurts us very badly.
Exactly.
Now it's our turn to drink the Zima. I mean, non-alcoholic Zima. Sorry.
Zima NA.
Yeah.
Oh God, is
Uh,
that a
sh-
thing?
it probably is.
Boy, as though they couldn't make Zima worse.
For
Remember
a short
Zima?
while, there was Zima that like we drank as kids because it was Zima, but it was non-alcohol and it tasted awful.
What a strange reality.
Anxiety issues begin showing up at younger and younger ages. This health crisis is reaching epidemic proportions and not being addressed with the seriousness that the issue deserves. She does see another bird flu in the near future and some sort of cattle virus that will affect people.
Oh, but
I
they
don't
don't.
eat meat
They don't
anymore.
fix anxiety.
Probably not. Not until it's
Bummer.
like so bad that kids are having heart attacks like they're having in Gaza.
I mean, it's getting pretty bad.
April and May are the best months for the majority of Americans. Many positive outcomes after a challenging 2023. So look forward to spring, everybody. La primavera
Still.
est infinitum. I don't know. Surprisingly, the younger generations will continue to embrace retro electronics activities and vintage clothing. Social media is already shifting due to AI. There's no stopping AI, and it will continue to gain popularity. Speaking of, 2425 will bring advancements in quantum physics, AI, and space stations.
Nice.
These advancements may seem like debacles at times, but make no mistake, we're headed into uncharted territories.
That means we're gonna blow up some people.
Hell yeah.
I like AI because it looks like Al when people write it down.
Yeah.
And I like that people are like, scientists are afraid of the growing power of Al.
Well, he's from the future and he has Ziggy behind him.
Yeah, exactly.
And here's one that is legitimately our concern. More info on UAPs will be released by the government. The
Aha!
public has believed in UAPs for several years. However, the government will release new documents.
Interesting.
And I hope that they
is
do.
happening. I was going to talk
that's-
about it next week after more stuff happened, but there is going to be, I think, this week a classified meeting with the House of Intelligence Committee about UFOs.
Yeah, I mean,
So that's happening this week.
presumably that's just going to continue. The last thing she predicts is the race to the Arctic. Why? Water, of course. Water is going to become the gold standard sooner than anticipated.
Oh boy. It's not good news.
I do want to throw this out
Good
here.
news,
from
everyone. Water
Rose.
will be money soon.
The Water
From
Wars
Rose.
from Mad Max will be soon.
You guys remember your favorite friend, right?
Sure.
Yeah, Monica.
Not okay. Well, we're not talking about Monica.
Okay. Then we're talking
we're
about one of
talking-
the members of the show, Friends.
Yes.
Then I also choose Monica.
All right. Rose Smith has some specific predictions for Jennifer Aniston.
What?
This is what you turn to psychics for, is things you could see in the back of an Us magazine. Miss Smith predicts Hollywood celebrity Jennifer Aniston will go public with a new romance in 2024. Quote, she's finally found a decent guy who really loves her, and she gets the relationship that she wants.
Nice.
for
Good
her.
for her.
Anyway, that is 2024 in a nutshell in a segment
Sure.
I'm calling Psychic. You kick. We all kick. I guess for Psy Cream.
Yeah, I like that. Well, I'm going to go wrap up this episode. I'm taking the speaking skull from you, Nate,
Okay.
rather aggressively because your psychics are all frauds. There's
Yes,
only
they
one
are.
there's only one true psychic who can predict the future, and that is a asparamancer, someone who predicts the future by throwing spears of asparagus in the air.
Oh,
Mhm.
and it's beautiful.
And
The sight, the pictures of just her glorious joy as she tosses those things.
She
Yes,
gets pretty pumped about it.
her name is Jemima Packington, and she has made some 2024 predictions. Everything she's ever predicted has happened.
Oh,
And I
really?
refuse to hear word otherwise.
Oh, okay. You simply believe it.
Jordan got excited, and then I showed him how deep in the sauce I am.
I predict later my pee is going to smell strange.
She
Joe is
some
open
of
to
her
that.
some of her accomplishments is she's supposedly predicted how Brexit, what did I say it right? What happened?
Brexit?
Brexit.
Brexit. Trump's presidential win, Macron's success in France. She also saw the Queen's death. She is the only asparamancer in the world, supposedly. I would like, if you're an asparamancer, please hit us up at our website, and we will help you, and we will represent you in the argument that there's more than just one.
Yeah, we've got your back. If you're out there reading the spears, we would love to make you the spearhead, I guess, sort of the next vanguard in predictive technologies.
So she has made a number of predictions for this year, and then we'll wrap up the episode. We have number 1. Regime change will take place throughout the world on an unprecedented scale, often where least expected. You know what that means?
Azerbaijan.
Yes, but I was also thinking America goes communist. That's the least expected. I'm throwing it out there for Roger's prediction. America's going communist. There will be separations and divorces amongst the members of the royal family.
Oh, I'll tell you this: Rose Smith said that their relationship was going to get stronger than ever. Prince
We have
Harry
combating prophets then.
Dueling
We
prophets.
Going on, we have the culture of celebrity will be on the wane, with people losing interest in their antics.
Interesting.
And that's already kind of happening. The new kids just watch fucking TikToks and occasional YouTube videos.
Those still have celebrity.
Oh, we'll get into the
I'm just saying
influencers.
It's a different level of celebrity, though.
Yeah,
Like you can stumble into that kind of celebrity.
Yeah, it's not like Illuminati celebrity, like Timothy Chalamet is how you pronounce his name correctly.
Mm-hmm.
The 2024 Olympic Games will not be a resounding success for Team Great Britain.
Well, she is British, right? So that's
she's British,
something
yes.
that she'd be concerned with.
Yeah, no, that's the only
chilling
reason she
portent,
cares.
nevertheless.
All
Their
right,
basketball team is going to lose post haste.
Going down the list, we have events in the Middle East will reach a breaking point.
Basketball.
You're a couple months late to that.
Yeah, you could do that every year.
Yeah, truly.
Extremist groups within the UK will lose support. No more holding up traffic or supergluing to infrastructure.
Okay.
England FA will appoint more female referees to officiate at all male matches. A lot more sports references than I would think.
Football Association?
Yes, I think.
Yeah, she seems to be kind of preoccupied with sporting events.
There will be a shakeup within the UK education system.
Okay.
They'll finally start learning about colonies and why they shouldn't have done it.
They're going to drop a lot of the U's in the E's.
In 2024, America will see its first female president.
Okay.
And there will be a number of deaths among world leaders occurring.
So what she's saying is that Joe Biden will die in office and Kamala.
That's what I heard.
president.
Or I was thinking Trump will die in office and Nikki Haley will become president. Or random world leaders will die and for some reason Clinton's president.
Okay. She gets
Like
in
you're
there.
really out there.
She gets in there and licks the chair when nobody's looking, and she's like, "It's
Yeah.
mine now."
It's mine now. By law of me, I dictate that the lick chair is mine. And this is the presidential chair.
Mm-hmm.
Where am I? So the chair licking, mental health and well-being will continue, and mental health and well-being will continue to be an important factor worldwide, and we will no longer carry the stigma of old.
Oh, I see.
She is also an older lady.
No. I don't think she means the stigma of being old. I think she means we'll no longer have the stigma of the olden days where mental health was like, "Oh, you're cuckoo." Into
Gotcha.
the cuckoo's basket
Yeah.
with you.
Gotcha.
Pull
Like,
yourself up by your bootstraps and stop your fucking crying.
I thought it was boobs.
Get
Yeah, I thought
pull
it was
yourself up
bootstraps,
by your
too.
boob straps. Quit your fucking crying. I don't care if it's an underwire.
You still calling bras boob straps?
I am forever now. I'm going to start actually.
Oh, yeah.
Public figures will be outed as having profited from illegal actions.
Well. How the mighty have
That'll-
fallen.
That'll
Tom
be the
Hanks.
day.
A raft of very well-paid TV personalities will lose their jobs.
Oh, God.
Yes, because
did they get
cable
on the raft?
news.
Yeah,
is
that's what I was
going-
wondering. And then I realized raft is a British way of saying like a group of people, maybe. I don't know. You're the only person who's part of the British Empire, Jordan.
I do have a subscription to Brit.
Yeah,
I'll see what I can figure out.
you subscribe to Great Britain's Patreon.
Yes.
Okay, 3 more. Influencers will lose their sway as people realize that it is the real world they live in that matters.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
The UK will see a return to active politics from a previous leader. Are you coming back, Johnson? Or is it going to be Timothy Blair?
Tony
I don't
Blair.
know any.
Tony Blair.
I don't know any non-conservative British politicians.
It's going to be Queen Elizabeth. She rises from the grave and she runs for office. And when I say rises from the grave, I mean they clone her brain and put it in a Robo Queen. Robo Queen.
Could be Jeremy Corbyn, despite having been
in a robo.
Robo Corbyn.
Robo Corbyn.
I know
Reporting
of the
for
Corbyn.
duty.
Okay, and climate change will become a victim of compassion overload.
What?
I'm going to Google what
need that to
compassion
be-
overload
Could
is
that
because I
possibly
think
be?
I misunderstand.
We're going to literally hug the earth until it hugs us back.
Okay, so compassion overload is compassion fatigue is a term that describes the
I see.
physical, emotional, and psychological impact of helping others.
Okay. So people will care so much about climate change that they stop caring?
I think.
That's what it sounds like.
Listen, I don't doubt the words of my master. All I am telling you is the words that I live by.
Well,
Mhm.
One
it's,
Jemima Packington, the Sparrowmancer, the only true psychic.
I understand.
yeah, these this isn't even her predictions. These predictions come from the asparagus. And the asparagus comes from the earth, my friend.
Yeah, your qualm is with the stinky pissweed.
There is
It's
a
delicious
saying.
nonetheless.
It sure
There is a
God.
saying that our friend Sammy T says that the lower you are to the ground, the wiser you are.
That's right. I forgot
And
about
there's
that.
nothing lower to the ground than the asparagus.
Oh, he's right.
Well,
Once
you
again.
know, some of those root vegetables, your potatoes, they're down there.
Mhm.
They're covered.
All right. So when we find a potato mancer, I will trust her more.
Yeah. Let's become the potato mancers or the sugar beat leaders.
Oh wow.
We can
Doesn't
start
get
a
lower down than
magazine
that.
called Sugar Beat.
like
Like
I like
Tiger
that.
Beat. But
Yeah,
it's
I like that.
for paranormal stuff.
But it
Sugar
uses the
beet.
tiger beat format. Exactly.
Yeah.
But on the cover of every issue, there's like a
really
sexy posing
Bigfoot.
sugar beet.
Something hot, you know. But that's going to do
Yeah.
it for my segment and wrapping up this little bit long episode of Werewolf Radar. And I'm going to title it, Nate's Psychics Are All Frauds. The true reader of the future is Jemima Packington. I know it's a longer title, but that's the title I choose.
That's what we're going into the new year with. Folks, thank you so much for listening to another episode of Werewolf Radar. If you really liked what we did here, you can get another episode of Werewolf Radar every week simply by going to patreon.com/Werewolf Radar and helping us with a small financial donation. You will become a member of the Dark Council, the trusted board of evil overseers who mark every step of the Werewolf Radar journey. You can also help us out if you don't want to become a Patreon member by just giving us 5 stars on anywhere a podcast can be wrangled. Or furthermore, just tell your friends. Be like, hey, listen to Werewolf Radar. We got new art coming out. We got a new logo coming up this year. It's pretty cool. I drew it myself. I'm pretty pumped about it. We got people saw Spaceman Joe for the first time.
It hurt people. It was so beautiful.
Kind of looks like a cross between Ernest Hemingway and that guy from Parks and Rec with the mustache. Ron Swanson.
Yes, I was going to say
Swan Ronson. You can get involved with that if you go to the Patreon. We're probably going to be making t-shirts, mugs, tattoos. Who knows? Shout out to Chuck from Snappy Little Numbers for our intro and outro song. And come check us out on twitch.tv/werewolf_radar, where you can see us play Dungeons and Dragons almost every Monday. And sometimes we play other games. We played the updated version of Bigfoot the video game. Pretty good, except for their, I'm going to say, offensive misinterpretation of Bigfoot culture.
Very much so. Very offensive. It's
what
not
Bigfoot's all about. Bigfoot, they mark him as kind of a weird voodoo predator, which is just, come on. What's going on there? But it is fucking awesome. Whoa, I'm getting sleepy.
And frightening. when you hear Bigfoot come trudging along.
He comes at you and he's also buff. He's insanely ripped. He
Bigfoot
only gets gains. It's always
swole
full body day.
As fuck and comes barreling out of the underbrush like a goddamn bull on a slip and slide. It is fucking terrifying. And just spear tackles you into nothingness. Just a pink mist twinkling in the twilight. That does it for this episode of Werewolf Radar. Thank you for listening. On the count of 3, our sign-off line, as always, 1, 2, 3, punch the sky!
Spaceman
Joe.